It's my privilege to introduce my friend, Scott Williams. Oh, there's a typo here. It says he's an organizer with the Philly branch. He's an organizer with the Philadelphia chapter of the Durham branch of Workers' World Party. Much the same way that Dante is our LA chapter, and all right. He's also responsible for many areas of party work, including one of the active organizers with the brand new and very exciting Moorhead Lilly presidential campaign. Please help me welcome Scott. All right, I'm taking over from here.
I got this. So as I walk up here, I have to ask myself, do I even need to do this? I mean, after this entire panel, I'm almost exhausted already just after listening to Erica's speech. It's been tremendous, and this is truly a historic conference. This is a major turning point for our party, and it is the ultimate proof that we are the leading revolutionary socialist party in this country. And it bodes so well for our future. I'm pumped. I'm thrilled. All right, so let's get to this. So, as we've all been saying, and I think it boils down, we have a pretty simple vision for humanity. Honestly, it's very simple. We want to live in a society that values everyone's integrity, dignity, and livelihood. Like great visionaries throughout time, we've talked all weekend here about this. We have identified the root cause of the crisis that the 6 billion people on this planet are facing right now, and that is capitalism. We've talked about it. Every single speech has mentioned this. This is the plague against humanity and its symptoms: exploitation, poverty, racism, war, oppression of people based on their sexuality or their gender. Every single part of these are an integral part of the historic development of the capitalist system. And for the last 300 years, hundreds of millions of us, billions of us have asked, how are we going to get free? How are we going to get free? What does freedom even mean at this point in history? Well, we'll start with what it does not mean. Freedom, it is not about the right to vote. It is not about the right to elect Donald Trump or Hillary Clinton. It's not about the freedom of speech. It's not about any of the rights listed in the Bill of Rights. And it certainly is not the capitalist freedom, the idea that you are free to exploit people all over the world. Freedom in our context means that we need the right, our human right, to live in a society in which we are free of exploitation, oppression, inequality, and violence. That is freedom. When we talk about democratic rights, we deserve a real democracy where we run our workplaces, run our communities, and people all over the world have their own dignity and their own right to run their lives. Real democracy means that the people control the economy, that workers control their lives, that the communities control the police, and that the political system represents the needs of the poorest, the have-nots, all of the least privileged members of society. That is real democracy. That is freedom. And that has absolutely nothing to do with the 2016 presidential elections at this point. As we've said time and time again, we're here to put socialism on the table. This simple idea, this simple vision is called socialism. Time and time again, we're going to say that. We believe socialism is the only possible alternative to capitalism. Every single speaker said that. There's no middle ground. There's no Denmark. There's no Sweden. That is not an alternative. There's no future for that. We need Cuba. We need the Soviet Union. We need all the people's government. Socialism, what does it really mean? It means that everyone has the right to a job or an income. It means that everyone has a high quality of living. It means including decent housing, food, mental and physical health care, and every other basic right. Socialism means that youth of color go to college, not to prison. Socialism means the dismantling of racism and the abolishment of the racist police. Socialism means reparations for all the victims of colonialism and imperialism, for an entire restructuring of international relations based on the values of dignity, sovereignty, and justice. Most importantly, and last but not least, socialism means that the tiny 0.1% of racist billionaires and the Donald Trumps of the world, they have no longer any rights or any freedom to profit off of our misery. So again, how do we get free? It's the same question. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, it's not through elections. It's not through, socialism doesn't come about through the ballot box. Even if our party had $1 billion, $2 billion, and we got Monica Moorhead elected with all that billions of dollars, we still wouldn't see the changes we need. It would be great. Don't get it wrong. Socialism comes through a people's movement, which replaces all of these hostile institutions. This kind of overthrow of the government that Erica was talking about. It's a society-wide insurrection of the 99%, led by the most revolutionary. It's probably going to be led by women, by people of color, by LGBTQ people, by all sorts of workers who are oppressed, and certainly young people as well, as we've seen. These are the people who are going to lead this entire society-wide insurrection against capitalism. That's what we need. But then it gets back to the question, so what? Why would you even try to run an election campaign? Why Moorhead Lilly 2016 if we're never going to get anywhere with capitalist democracy? Well, we're out here to prove a couple different points. And I'm going to say our 2016 presidential campaign, it's going to be historic. And it's going to be revolutionary, the most revolutionary campaign this country has ever seen. 2 black revolutionary socialists, both from the U.S. South. Both, I learned this today, both educated at historically black colleges. This is going to be tremendous. Running against a genocidal system that wants to destroy the black community and is currently doing so through all this racist terror, through this gentrification, through the destruction of public education, through this mass incarceration of 2.2 million people. This is the face that we're running, and we're running 2 revolutionary black activists in the face of this declining genocidal system. How about that? It's 2 black revolutionaries. As we say, the premise of our campaign is basically 2 black revolutionaries running up against the most terrifying empire in the history of humanity. That is the stage. That is the setting. Every day, we're completely bombarded by these ruling class politicians who are calling on the working class to buy into their lies. On the right, white workers are called on to regurgitate the racism and free market ideology of the bankers and the ruling class. Meanwhile, the Democrats attempt to stabilize this system by playing the good cop, by soothing the oppressed with empty promises, smiling faces, and a different type of racism. These are the 2 parties. Yet this 2-party system will not last forever, and only revolution will break it. The capitalist system will not last forever, and again, only revolution will break it. But how do we grow this movement for a new government? How do we grow this movement for an entire new economic system? And how do we grow this movement for an entire new society based on the equality and the dignity of all people? Well, I gotta say, the answer is to build this party, and it's to build this struggle that you all have been devoting your lives to. We want to build this party to becoming the party of the incarcerated, the party of the rebellious youth of color, the party of people of all genders and all sexualities, of low-wage workers, of radicalized, undocumented immigrants who have been dispossessed by U.S. imperialism, by revolutionary women like Phoebe and Erica and so many other people who've been speaking, by basically the people who've been hardest hit by this entire system. Those are the people we need to pull into this room, and those are the people I expect to see here a year from now, when we have this 2016 victorious campaign celebration as our conference next year. That's what we're looking for. And again, our Workers' World Party presidential campaign gives a chance for us to really dream big. Everywhere. Thinking big. And we're going to hit workshops to talk all about this. And all throughout the South, in Mississippi, in Florida, in Milwaukee, in Salt Lake, and all these different places all over the country, we're going to cover this entire country with the message of revolutionary socialism. Our army, I'm looking at them, our young and old comrades, our seasoned, some of the best militant revolutionaries in the world. You all are going to make this happen, and I cannot wait to travel and cover this, to really make this campaign a reality. And I got to say, our presidential candidate, Monica Moorhead, the heart and soul of this party. Wow. We totally expect you to continue doing what you've done for your entire life, which is to dedicate all of your energy to fighting for black freedom, to fighting for women's liberation, and to fighting to overthrow capitalism. And we couldn't be more honored to have Monica Moorhead as the leader of this campaign. Let's give it up. And for Lamont Lilly, he's our foot soldier. Whether it's in West Baltimore, East Durham, North Philly, South LA, everywhere we go, Lamont is spreading the word, building the paper, building the party. We're going to make Lamont Lilly a household name. It's going to be tremendous. Cannot wait. So again, we're imagining this Monica Moorhead, Lamont Lilly campaign, and we'll be exposing capitalist democracy everywhere we go, and we'll be challenging the racism and challenging the ignorance and challenging everything about the two-party system. But I got to say, to do this, we need two things. I'll start with the least significant one, even though it's important. Everyone's seen that Bernie Sanders has raised over 1 million donations. Somewhere between, I think the average one is $40. It's raised over 1 million individual donations. Once we leave this conference, we're going to start thinking about how can we reach out to thousands of people to start raising money to build this campaign. And we need each one of you in your branches to start thinking about how to do that. But most importantly, for an entire new economic system, for a new constitution, for a new society, we need you, and we need all of your friends and allies and new people to join this party and build this entire revolutionary movement. And I cannot wait to see it, like we were talking about, 5 new branches all throughout this country. That is the challenge for this campaign over the next year. We want to have 5 new branches in this room in a year, and we can do it. We can do it. We're the most talented and passionate organizers in this country, and we're going to do it. So let's dare to defeat capitalism. Let's dare to build a future for humanity. Let's build a workers' world, and let's elect Monica Moorhead and Lamont Lilly from we can try. All out. Let's build this campaign. Thank you, everyone.